Hello guys, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Hope RBI. Many aspirants were asking me, where is the video for the RBI Grade B 2023 preparation? Well, here I am. This will be the part 1 where I will be discussing the preparation for the phase 1 of RBI Grade B 2023 examination. My phase 2 examination is finally over, and I have also shared my marks of phase 1 examination on the community tab on this channel and also on the Telegram channel as well. I will link it down below, and I will also link uh, from where you can actually see your marks. I know most of you guys might have already seen your marks, but unfortunately many students were not able to clear the preliminary phase this year, and I can feel you guys, but I commend that you have gained your strength and courage to prepare well for the upcoming examination, for the next year examination, and I'm sure that you will be performing really well. I will be talking about every aspect of this examination in a much detailed manner. I request you guys to please bear with me, as this video might get a little bit longer, but try to understand what I'm about to say in this video, because being a self-study aspirant myself, I can tell you what kind of challenges a person faces while preparing by themselves and how they can overcome those challenges to score well. I really scored well in the phase 1. I have shared my score. You can definitely check it out, and I'm basically proving a testimony that a self-study aspirant can score well in these kind of examinations. I'm not sure about phase 2 because I'm not satisfied with the performance that I did in phase 2, but let's hope for the best. But for phase 1, I'm definitely sure that my methods will definitely help you out, and I've also seen some people commenting that who cleared this examination, this attempt, that the methods that I discussed with you guys previously were also very helpful to you, and I'm really glad that my methods did help you. So let's talk about the 2023 preparation now, but before that, the two main requisites that you must have in order to prepare for the RBI Grade B 2023 examination in your hand. Take the printout of those things and paste it on your wall. The first thing is your syllabus. Very, very important. You must cram everything that is given in the syllabus of RBI Grade B. Everything. Be it ESI or finance or management or English, whatever is given there, you have to cram it, because you need to understand the relevance of everything that is asked in the essay examination. In the GA section, not only the phase 1, previously like 2020, 2018 or 2019 examinations, phase 2 type of questions are also now being asked. So in order to understand every aspect, you need to understand the syllabus first. Second thing, you need to have the printouts of previous year question papers from whichever year you feel comfortable, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever kind of year you find. I've also shared the previous year questions published by EduTap on my Telegram channel. You can definitely check it out, and also you can download from their official channel or their website. And there are so many other previous year question paper publishers like Crack Grade B or iExamB. You can definitely download those papers from those websites as well. So talking about the previous year question papers, both phase 1 and phase 2, you need to have both before the start of your preparation. You need to have these things in your hand. After taking these things in your hand, you have to talk about the pattern of the examination. You will be understanding the pattern of examination by seeing the previous year questions, and also you can go through the information handout that actually is published by RBI when the admit card is released, basically. So you can download it from RBI website, and you will be able to understand that how the marks distribution and how the question distribution is there, how the pattern goes in this kind of examination. After understanding the syllabus and the pattern, you need to go to the preparation phase of things. Let's start the preparation for the phase 1. This video will be focusing on phase 1 especially. For phase 1, you have 4 sections. General awareness, very important section, 80 questions, 80 marks. Then comes your reasoning section, 60 questions, 60 marks. Then comes your English section, 30 questions, 30 marks. And then comes your quantitative aptitude section, 30 questions, 30 marks. You can see that general awareness holds a good chunk of numbers, and you have to perform really well in this section in order to get yourself pass in the phase 1 examination. So let's talk about the preparation for the general awareness for this examination. For the general awareness section, do not confuse your preparation of general awareness of phase 1 to be a segregate preparation process and phase 2 to be a segregate process. No. you have to cover simultaneously the preparation of general awareness for phase 1 as well as for phase 2, because as you see the previous year question papers, ESI of phase 2 also holds the general awareness section, the current affairs section, and since 2021, phase 1 general awareness has also been covering some of the ESI general awareness, like government schemes, like union budget, like reports and indices. Various questions have been asked, so you have to cover the general awareness in a comprehensive manner. I have made a video regarding the preparation of general awareness previously as well. You can definitely check it out as well. But everything I will be going to discuss in this video as well, with a newer perspective, with the examinations that I've given, with my personal experience. Let's talk about the things that entails your general awareness. First is your national news, then comes your international news, then defense news, then science and technology news, then acquisition and mergers news, then your business news, then your finance news, then your banking news, then your economy news, all of these news along with your static GK. All of your national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, some of the important days, their themes. Also, there was some Independence Day of some country was asked in 2021, weirdly enough, but anything under sun under the sun basically could be asked in GA of phase 1. But also since 2021, maximum questions were from the ESI aspects of things, which usually are asked in the phase 2 of this examination, like some of the questions regarding the government schemes were there, statement based questions also, very complicated to understand and answer. Also some of the questions regarding reports and indices, not only reports and indices of the domestic institutions like Niti Aayog or other ministries, but also from the international institutions as well, like WTO or IMF or World Bank or Oxfam. All of these institutions, very important, all the reports and indices. And also your union budget, the next year's union budget will be important for 2023. The economic survey, the next year's economic survey will be important for 2023 examination. So all these things are needed to be covered for phase 1 as well as for phase 2 simultaneously. Let's talk about the sources now. Very important. Please mark these words and engrave everything in your mind, because this exact thing I actually did for my own preparation and I scored really well. You can see that. For general awareness, basically, you can definitely check out the main important source I've already discussed with you guys. I have told you guys millions of times that any banking preparation is incomplete without this particular source, be it any banking exam, SEBI, RBI, NABARD, or SBI PO, IBPS PO. The most important thing for general awareness is the subscription of Affairs Cloud. Take the yearly subscription of Affairs Cloud and read the Affairs Cloud very thoroughly. You have to read, in my own recommendation, you have to read the daily PDFs of Affairs Cloud. Not the monthly PDF, not the MCQ PDF, not the Q&A PDF, not the weekly PDF. No, the daily PDF, the daily detailed PDF, because it will give you a sense of completion, that you have completed a thing, and it will also give you a sense of consistency. I distinctly remember that only 20 days were left before the actual examination, and I had a live stream over the channel, and many aspirants were asking me, sir, we have to cover the current affairs worth 3 to 4 months. How can we cover them in 20 days? And that too, the monthly compilations of Affairs Cloud. I mean, definitely it will be very difficult for you to cover in that particular amount of time. But if you have been consistent, you will not encounter much difficulty, because you have been consistent throughout, and only revision will happen after that. So you have to constantly revise, and if you have done multiple revisions, everything will be engraved in your mind. So in order to be consistent, you have to start the daily PDF reading. I recommend you guys to start reading from tomorrow. I know it might be weird to suggest you that, because you might not actually encounter that many questions in the actual examination from this month, or let's say the next month, or let's say the next month after that. But it will give you a sense of consistency, and you will be able to see an improvement in yourself, that you have gained something and you have understood the concept of current affair in a deeper manner, and how you will be able to correlate the questions that you will encounter in the actual examination. So that is why, and news is a very continuous process. It's not a very distinctive or disruptive process. It's a continuous process. For example, you read a news regarding a certain bank or RBI in January. You might also find a news in linkage to that particular news that you found in January in the month of, let's say, July or August. So everything is linking, everything is interlinked. So in order to be able to understand the aspect of that news, you have to be consistent. That is why I'm recommending you to read the daily PDFs of Affairs Cloud. Second source is very underrated source, but I recommend every person to have at least gone through once. Basically, that source is your newspapers. There are so many mixed reviews regarding newspapers. Some people say that you don't need to read the newspapers to clear this examination. I completely agree. But newspapers will also give you a sense of completion that apart from the other sources, I have covered the news comprehensively for my own preparation via these newspapers. So that is why I also myself read newspapers, and I recommend you to read the basic simple newspaper rather than going into much detailed or depth manner like the Hindu or the Business Standard. No, you have to read an easier newspaper which is easier to understand, that is Live Mint. I love this newspaper because every aspect of thing is covered in this newspaper very easily. There was a question regarding LTRO, and I was able to do this question only after I got to know about LTRO from this newspaper. This newspaper really helped a lot because it explains the new term in the form of a question and answer form, and you will be able to analyze everything very comprehensively and in an easy manner in this newspaper. So I recommend everyone to follow the Liveman newspaper. Give it a try, just give it 1 month or two, and if you still feel that you are not able to grasp anything, just leave it, but at least give it a try. It's a very good habit to read newspapers, and you will also be enhancing your vocabulary and writing capabilities by reading the editorial sections. There are some good editorial sections in Live Mint as well, so you have to understand the concepts of the things that you are unaware of from these newspaper in a very simple form. The third source without which the preparation of RBI or NABARD examination is incomplete. Trust me, it's a very important source for especially for phase 2, but for phase 1 as well, that is PIB, Press Information Bureau. Very important. I have made a video that how to cover PIB. You can definitely check it out. For PIB you need a lot of relevance because PIB consists of having so many data, so many news regarding the cabinet decisions, regarding the prime minister's office, regarding various ministries. So what to read, what to skip, that is the main aspect of things. In order to be able to understand that, you need to have a certain thing which I already told you, the prerequisite, that is the syllabus in your hands. Very important. If you have a syllabus in your hands, you will be able to correlate whatever you need to read for the examination point of view. You don't need to do the PhD in the news and everything. You only need to read the relevant things from the examination point of view. That you will be able to understand by seeing the syllabus of this exam. For example, let's say in ESI section there is a term called poverty. How will you be able to understand what to read from PIB regarding poverty? There is a ministry called Ministry of Labor and Employment, which could be related to poverty. There is a ministry called Ministry of Rural Development, which could be related to poverty. Yes, definitely. So according to the syllabus, I got to understand that the news from these ministries will be important, and especially from poverty there are some social stigmas as well. Let's say gender discrimination. What ministry could be covering the gender discrimination phenomena? Definitely Ministry of Women and Child Development. So this ministry automatically becomes important for you to understand, for you to cover from PIB. So in order to cover the news from PIB, you need to have a relevance which you can get from the syllabus. That is why I am telling you to cram everything that is given in the syllabus itself. So that is all for the PIB. Let's move on to the next source, which I found very important from the phase 2 point of view. In phase 2 I encountered so many questions from this source, and it's very much important, that is RBI notifications, RBI website. I have made a separate video how to cover RBI website very comprehensively. You can definitely check that video out. I have discussed everything. I have opened the website. I have told you what to read, what to skip. Everything has been discussed in that video. I will link it right here, and you will be able to understand what to do while reading the RBI website. So these are the sources for your general awareness preparation. Talking about the other aspects, like some government schemes are basically asked, reports and indices are asked, and all of those things. Reports and indices you will be able to cover from Affairs Cloud itself. The newer government schemes you will be able to cover from Affairs Cloud itself and PIB itself. But the new the schemes which have already been in existence and which are fairly mentioned in the news recently, that kind of government schemes which are previously mentioned, you can definitely check it out from a very good source, that is the Vision IAS PDF. I have seen a lot of mixed reviews that you don't need to read Vision IAS. Me personally, I did that and I found it really very good to understand. They have actually made a table or flowchart kind of thing where you will be able to understand what are the features, what are the budget allotments, or what are basically who are the beneficiaries, who are the exceptions. All of those things are mentioned very beautifully, so you will be able to understand all of those things. Plus, you also need to have the reference of the historical aspects of government schemes sometimes, because there was a question in 2019, if I'm not wrong, there was a scheme whose previous name was basically asked, that before 2008 or 2009 what was the scheme called. So that kind of question could be asked, the historical aspect of a particular scheme could be asked. I'm not saying that every scheme has a historical aspect, but if you find that if any scheme has it, you should know about it. That is the main thing that you need to know about, and Vision IS has all of it. You will be able to cover it from there. And also PIB. So for government schemes, Vision IAS plus PIB plus Affairs Cloud for the newer schemes. For RBI Grade B examinations, do not read the state schemes. Do not read the state schemes. State schemes are important for the NABARD examination, but not for the RBI Grade B examination. Remember that. Let's move on to the next subject, which is also very important. It covers 60 questions of 200 of all the questions, 200 questions. That is reasoning. In 60 questions, definitely you are not going to score 60 out of 60. And there is a mistake which I used to do while I was preparing for this exam, and I am sure that most of the aspirants do it as well, that they practice the puzzles too much. There is a such thing called too much practice. Okay? In the reasoning section, people try to practice the puzzles which are about 3 to 4 variables long and next to impossible to clear in a certain amount of time. Definitely, I've seen some Telegram groups where people post their queries and they post some puzzle which has 3 to 4 variables and it takes almost 10 to 20 minutes to solve, or sometimes are unsolvable. I'm not seeing the point why that kind of puzzle, why practicing that kind of puzzle would be helpful to you. It will not guarantee that you will be able to attempt the 3-4 variable of puzzle in the actual examination as well. You don't need to do that. You don't need to practice the bigger amount of puzzles too much. It will be a sheer wastage of time, I'm telling you. You need to focus more on what kind of questions you would be actually attempting in the actual examination, rather than focusing on puzzles and doing puzzles and doing puzzles. No, it will lead you nowhere. And I did the exact same thing, and I suffered back in 2020 examination and back in other examinations as well. But this time I focused more on what I will be attempting in the actual examination. My strategy for reasoning was, listen very carefully. I actually tried to solve the miscellaneous questions first. What are the miscellaneous topics? The blood relations, miscellaneous topic. The directions, miscellaneous topic. The inequalities, miscellaneous topic. The syllogism, miscellaneous topic. The coding decoding, miscellaneous topic. All of these topics are miscellaneous, which are different from the puzzles. Some of the easier sitting arrangements, these are also very, very important. You need to master these miscellaneous subjects and you need to practice the higher level of these subjects. For example, you need to practice the higher level of blood relations, some of the coded blood relations, or some of the puzzles of blood relations, which are a little bit complicated to solve, but not extremely complicated, like 3-4 variables are there. No, solvable, and you have to increase your speed while solving these kind of questions. Similarly, the direction, the coded directions or the puzzled directions, the inequalities, the coded inequalities, reverse syllogism or the coded syllogism, the higher levels of syllogism, every aspect, coding, decoding, the higher level of coding, decoding, seating arrangement, a little bit higher level of seating arrangement. These miscellaneous questions could be solved in a time bound manner, and you have to master the good amount, the good level of questions from these topics. And after that, you should move on to the critical reasoning. It is a very easy topic, but it is a very dangerous topic as well. Why I'm saying dangerous? Because in every critical reasoning question, what do I mean by critical reasoning? Statement assumptions, statement course of action, assumption reasons, assertion reasons, then your inferences, then assumptions. All of those things are basically your critical reasoning. Why I'm saying it's dangerous? Because in every critical reasoning question, every choice seems correct, every option seems correct, and you need to analyze that where you should put more emphasis for actually clicking the right option, because in order to do critical reasoning, not only you have to understand the concepts of critical reasoning, but you have to practice a lot. You have to practice a lot of critical reasoning in order to master it. So you have to do the critical reasoning after that, and after completing the critical reasoning and all of these topics, then move on to the puzzles, and also try to do the puzzles of maximum 2 variables, and do whole lot of puzzles of of that type. Okay, master the speed in that type, because you will be able to, I used that kind of strategy, and I attempted actually 31 questions in reasoning, and I scored 29.75 in reasoning in this attempt, in this year's attempt. So I followed the similar kind of thing. Do not focus too much on the higher level puzzles, or too much practicing of the higher level puzzles. It will lead you nowhere, trust me. Very, very important. So what are the sources now? Let's talk about the sources. For reasoning, basically, to understand the concepts, I also started my preparation for banking examination since 2017, and I actually focused more on the aspects of understanding the concepts from YouTube videos. So I followed Adda 247 for understanding the concepts, and Olive Board also. Olive Board. You need to understand every concept, everything that is in your syllabus, that is blood relations, coded inequality or inequalities, or all of those things. You need to understand from Adda 247 and Olive Board YouTube videos, and after that you need to practice a lot. Where you can practice? You have to practice the puzzles, the 2 variable puzzles maximum. You need to practice the puzzles from the books. You can purchase Adda book. There is a book from Adda, and there is also a book from Olive Board. You can purchase any one of the book, and you have to practice it from there. All the puzzles you can practice it from Adda or Olive Board. After that, the other questions you need to practice from. There is a reasoning book, a book of reasoning, critical reasoning or the logical reasoning by Dr. R.S. Agarwal. You can move on to that book, and you can solve some of the questions from there as well. Don't put too much emphasis on this book, because you need to solve only good amount of questions, good level of questions from this book. Not Do not emphasize too much on this, and you need to put more emphasis on critical reasoning. Basically, you can practice so much amount of critical reasoning from this book. You can practice it, and after that just move on to the mock tests. You have to practice huge amount of mock tests for reasoning. Huge amount of sectional mock tests you have to purchase, and full mock tests you have to purchase, and you have to practice the good amount of questions of reasoning from the mock tests. I recommend you mock test, practice mock number 1, because practice mock, this year's practice mock was very at par with the level of the actual examination. So purchase the practice mock test. Secondly, Smart Kida, very important. And third is Olive Board. Try to purchase all 3 mock tests and try to solve these mock tests, and try to solve good amount of questions of reasoning from these mock tests. Sectional mocks, you have to take sectional mocks in order to practice good and good amount of questions and good quality of questions as well. So this is my recommendation to you guys for your reasoning section. Move on to the quantitative aptitude. This year's quantitative aptitude was not a piece of cake. You guys already know it. Most of the aspirants were not able to solve, I guess, 9 questions more than 9 or 10. These were the maximum questions. I somehow managed to attempt 16 questions, and I also scored 16 in that. I don't know whether it's the normalization basis, if I got lower marks or got increased due to normalization, or if I attempted all the questions correctly. But I managed to do that because I was really practicing a lot, and the things that I did to improve my score in quantitative aptitude, I'm going to share here. So you need to practice a lot for quantitative aptitude, but the questions that you will encounter will be very difficult. For very difficult questions, you need to practice a whole lot of difficult questions from a very good book, that is Quantum Cat by Sarvesh K. Verma. And some of the aspirants also recommend the Arun Sharma book for CAT. You can also definitely check it out. I have not checked it out personally, so I'm not able to comment on that. But if you feel that there are some good level questions, obviously it's a CAT book, so there will be good level of questions. You can definitely check it out, and you can definitely practice the good amount of questions from that book as well. But this book is also very good. And the amount of questions, there will be level division also. Level 1 type of question, level 2 type of question, some practice questions. All of these are given level wise, and you will be finding the difficulty level more increased at each level. So you have to purchase this book and you have to practice the good amount of questions from this. To understand the concepts of quantitative aptitude, you need to follow Adda 247. There is a series called Zero to Hero series. You can check it out. But the questions which are discussed in this series are very basic. They are only there to understand the concepts. After understanding the concepts, just move on to the Quantum Cat book and practice the harder level of the questions. If you are not able to solve the question, just see the solution and try to engrave it into your mind that this kind of question could be solved using this method. You need to do a whole lot of practice for your quantitative aptitude section and practice good amount of questions, because seeing the level of the examination now, you will be, you will require a whole lot of practice for this examination, for this section especially. Now the test series, definitely you will have to practice a whole lot of difficult questions. There were some very good amount of questions, very good difficulty level questions in practice mock in quantitative aptitude section. So for quantitative aptitude section especially, you should focus more on the practice mock test series. You have to practice every question in the practice mock test series. You are not able to solve the question, don't worry. Just submit the exam and after that find out the solutions and engrave the solutions in your mind that this amount of question, this type of question could be solved using this method. This particular system will really help you out. Trust me, it will give you a a tension-free kind of preparation for your quantitative aptitude section, because it is going to be really very difficult next year as well. So you have to prepare likewise. Also try to solve the IBPS PO mains or SBI PO mains mock test as well for your RBI grade B preparation, because it will be also very helpful for you to solve the difficult level of questions considering the aspects of mains level of banking examinations also, because almost similar kind of questions could be seen in the RBI grade B as well. So it will give you, the more questions are there, the more practice is there, the more marks you will be able to fetch. So that is it for the quantitative aptitude section. Now last section, that is the English section. I'm talking about the English phase 1 here. For me personally, I did not read English at all. I was previously good at it from the school time, and I actually, nurtured my English by reading a lot. My vocabulary was too bad, so I started reading newspapers, and I was able to realize that there are so many words that I can incorporate into my day-to-day talking skills, or in describing my essays or whatever kind of answer I'm going to write. So constant reading is required. Everything that you read, everything that you see, everything that you watch, like any news or any TV series or any show, try to watch it in English. It will give you a sense of tenses also. You don't need to read all the what are tenses, what is a sentence, what is an adjective, what is an adverb. All of those rules you necessarily don't need to read at all. You only need to focus the delivery side of things while reading English or while listening to someone who is speaking in English. So in order to be able to do that, you need to just focus more on reading and listening side of things. And if you think that you are so you are not capable to understand how the sentence is actually being framed, because I understand that most of the aspirants are from the Hindi medium background, and they are not actually capable enough to understand or to make or frame a particular sentence. You can definitely check out the English series from Adda 247 YouTube channel. You will be able to understand the basics from there, and after that you can move on to the practice side of things. And practicing English is only through mocks. I am not recommending any book. For grammar, you can refer to Wren and Martin. There is a book called Wren and Martin. It's a very good book. You can definitely refer to it. But if your grammar is strong, and if you're capable of framing good sentences and all of the and identifying where is the error, what is the error, you can practice your English through mocks. And also in RBI grade B, in English section, the comprehension passages that come are very lengthy and are a little bit difficult to understand. So for doing so, you have to constantly read the editorial sections of the newspapers. And also there is a book of English comprehension, a cat book of English comprehension by Arun Sharma. You can definitely check this book out, and you will be able to understand the difficult comprehensions as well. I also used to read one or two passages daily when I was preparing for the English section specifically. I didn't do anything else. I just read the comprehension passages that were there in the book, and I was able to, first of all, it was really very difficult for me to comprehend because the language is very different or very difficult. But when you realize, when you read it, when you see the solutions, that how the author has approached a particular comprehension, how what kind of things he wants to convey, so everything will be able to, become clearer. So you have to refer all these sources for your English preparation, and this is also a very good opportunity for you to fetch good marks, English and general awareness. These two subjects can ensure your passing in the phase 1 examination. So this is all for your phase 1 examination preparation for RBI grade B 2023. uh, all the aspects I've covered in a very detailed manner, but if you still feel that you have a little bit of doubt, you can definitely comment down below. I was also getting queries regarding how to should we make notes or not. I did both things. I made notes and I stopped making notes. Seems a little fishy, but yes, I did. I was preparing since September for this exam. So I was making notes. I was making digital notes. I also posted some of the digital notes of general awareness on the Telegram channel. But after that, when I found out that the time is very less and writing takes a lot of time, I stopped making digital notes. I stopped making notes and I started underlining the important things in the PDF itself. I digitally underlined the important things and I focused on only those underlined things when I was revising. So you can, if you are comfortable in making notes, you can make notes. If you are not comfortable in making notes, don't worry about it. Just try to underline. If you are comfortable in taking printouts, just take the printouts and just underline the important things and try to focus on them while you are revising that particular concept. But otherwise, there is no need to make notes. If you feel that you are not able to, you are not good at making notes, just don't worry about it. Don't make notes. But you have to constantly revise and you have to constantly focus on those things which are relevant from this examination. uh, so in order to be able to segregate that, I obviously told you the syllabus is the key and the previous year questions is the key. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any doubts still, you can definitely comment it down below, and I'll be happy to help you guys. I will be happy to resolve all of your queries, all of your doubts. Since now I have a little bit of time, so I can definitely respond to your queries. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for all your wishes, and I hope that all of the aspirants who are preparing for 2023 examinations will be really benefited from this particular video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.